Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make the easiest football beer cozies. And I only thought of this because it's like 22nd, right? 3 days till Christmas, and I was like, okay, I need to make something that is gonna be both cute and usable. And it is something that I only thought of because I was running out of things to put in a Christmas stocking, so I thought, why not make? So it's gonna be a great gift if you have anybody that is really into football, or if you're tailgating or out there doing your thing using a football cozy. Anyways, that's not the point. This is probably gonna take you like 30 minutes, maybe less if you're a pro, which I'm not. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it's gonna take less than 30 minutes. Oh, I also want to add that it can be used for pretty much any other bottled drink, right? Not just for beers, it can be for sodas or anything. So that's the fun part. You can give it to adults or maybe for kids who are really into football. Let's get right into it. Alright, so in this video, you're gonna need some brown yarn and some white. You're gonna need a little bit more white than this. This is acrylic yarn, 100%. This is mainstays, and this I'm gonna be using is leftover red heart, which is also 100% acrylic. I'm gonna be using a 4.25 hook. You're gonna need a threading needle too, and then a stitch marker. So I already measured my bottle, and it's about 5.5 centimeter, which is a little over 2 inches. So that's gonna be the base size, right? So to start, we're gonna use the brown, and we're gonna start with a slip stitch. Then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to slip stitch back into that first chain. So after you chain 2, you're going to make a double crochet into that loop or the ring that you just created, and these 2 chains doesn't count as a stitch. I'm gonna put my stitch marker in just so I know where my first stitch is. Then we're gonna make 9 more double crochet in the ring, so a total of 10 double crochets. So go ahead and make your 10 double crochets, and I'll meet you towards the end. 9 and 10. Once you're done with the 10 double crochets, you're gonna slip stitch into that first double crochet. Now we're gonna chain 3, and this time this counts as a stitch. So I'm gonna put my stitch marker in the 3rd chain. Now make another double crochet into that same stitch. And for each stitch around, you're gonna make 2 double crochets in it. So at the end of round 2, you should have 20 stitches. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. 1, 2, once you're done with your last stitch, you're gonna slip stitch into that 3rd chain. A little close to 6 centimeters. So you're gonna slip stitch into that 3rd chain and then chain 3. And this will count as a stitch. Okay, so for this round, we're gonna work into back loop only. So why I say the back loop is because this is the front, and that's gonna be on the outside of the bottle, right? And where the end tail is, that's gonna be on the inside. That is why we're gonna work on the back loop only. Now, if you're doing it the other way, your back loop is gonna be the one where your end tail is, which is gonna be on the inside of the cozy, right? So there's no increase in this round. You're gonna make one double crochet in each stitch around. So for this round, you're gonna still have 20 stitches, and we're only gonna work in the back loop. So that's one. I'm gonna go my needle, all right? So the V, which is your stitch, we're gonna work into just one side of that V only on the back, not the front one, but the back one. You're gonna work into that around. So make your one double crochet in each back loop only around, and I'll meet you towards the end of round 3. You should still have 20 stitches. I'm gonna put my stitch marker in the third chain. So you're gonna notice that your work is gonna curve a little bit. Well, not a little bit, it's gonna curve a whole lot because there's no increase. But that is normal, that's what we want. You are doing it right, so just keep going. So once you're done with that, you're gonna slip stitch into that third chain. To make it a little bit easier for you to work, you wanna push your work inward like that. So now your end tail is on the inside like that. Continue, same, chain 3. I'm gonna put my stitch marker and we're gonna continue with the same double crochet in each stitch around. So this is gonna be round 4. You're still gonna have 20 stitches, but this time we're gonna work into the stitch like normal. We're not gonna work into back loop or front loop or any of that. We're just gonna work into the stitch normally. So you're gonna wanna make one double crochet in each stitch around, and at the end of this round we're gonna change color. And you should still have 20 stitches because we haven't done any increases. This is gonna be a really snug fit. So this is my 20th stitch. I'm gonna make my double crochet, and before I finish off, before I yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook, I'm gonna grab my white, leave a little bit of tail, and pull it through the 2 loops. And then slip stitch into that third chain. You can cut off the brown yarn, and I like to tie both ends before I continue. Chain 3 and repeat. Make one double crochet in each stitch around. Again, you should have another row of 20 stitches. And before we finish off the 20th stitch, we're gonna change back to brown. Stitch into the third chain. And again, before I continue, I'm going to cut the yarn and tie the ends together. Alright, so after you chain 3, you're going to do the same thing. Just 1 double crochet in each stitch, and this is row 6. So you're going to do row 6, 7, 8, and 9. So row 6 to 9, you're going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch with brown. So continue doing that. You should always have 20 stitches at the end of each round. And I'm going to meet you back here at the end of, or towards the end of round 9. So I had to come in here quick to say that I said I'm going to meet you back at the end of round 9, but you're going to make one more round. So a total of 5 rounds with the brown color. So I'm going to meet you at the end of round 10 instead of round 9, like I said. So just add one more round. So we're gonna make one more round of white, and then we're gonna change color again at the end of this round. Now before I finish up that last double crochet, I'm gonna change back to brown. You're gonna make 2 more rounds, and I'll meet you at the end of the second round, which is gonna be round 13. Alright, so once you made your last double crochet, you're gonna slip stitch into the third chain, and then chain 1, slip stitch in the next chain, next stitch, chain 1, and then repeat. So this is the last round. You're gonna slip stitch, then chain 1, then slip stitch, chain 1, all the way around. And you're gonna end with a slip stitch into that first slip stitch, then cut your yarn. And this is the body. like I said, this is gonna be a snug fit. Alright, so now that that's done, let's do the stitching. Now for this next part, you're gonna grab your white yarn and cut about 45 inches of white yarn, which is about 115 centimeters. So thread your white yarn. Now pick a side, and in between the white rounds, you're gonna put your white threaded yarn through the first round from the top, from the inside. So put your hook through, pick a stitch, and pull your hook through that stitch like this. And don't pull all the way, you're gonna want to have a little bit of tail left on the inside, about an inch or two. Leave the end tail hanging on the inside. So you might want to pinch the end tail so you don't pull your white yarn all the way through. Now you're gonna put your hook through the bottom row of the brown that is aligned right into the one that you just came out from. So like all the way down right here. That's where I'm gonna put my hook back into like this. Out through that and then pull it through. I'm still pinching this end tail so I don't accidentally pull it all the way through. Now I'm gonna stretch out my work so I have it. You don't want to pull too much so it pinches your work in like that. So you're gonna, after you pull that through, you're gonna count your stitches. From that straight line, you're gonna count 2 stitches. So 1, 2. And you're gonna put your hook from the inside out through that second stitch. And you don't want to put it right in the middle. Try to put it a little bit at the top of that stitch. So still grabbing the end tail, I'm gonna go over this straight line again on the second stitch. So first, second, and not in the middle but a little bit on the top. I'm gonna put my needle through, then pull it. And then you're gonna put your hook through the second stitch again, but this time from the inside out, and then pull it like that. Then you're gonna go across again on the second stitch from the straight white line. 1, 2. So into that same stitch towards the end of it. I'm gonna pull through, then go across to the other side, still on that same stitch towards the end of it. So you're gonna do that same thing again in the second. This is the first round of brown after this one, so I'm gonna say in the second. You're gonna make two more of this crossover white into the second stitch. So once you're on the last crossover, you're gonna be on the inside. I could probably do the spacing a little better. And you can tie the end off with that end tail that you left off. Actually, I'm gonna redo this last bit. To redo, you just take your needle out and just pull your yarn. And before you tie off that end tail with the rest of your yarn, I like to at least put my needle through a few stitches, just so I keep that end against the wall of the cozy and not just hanging in there, as close as I can to the end tail. Then I'm gonna tie it off. I like to do 3 knots so it's properly secured, and then cut off that extra yarn. I'm just gonna cut this too. You can cut this off or thread the extra tail into your cozy. And your football cozy is all done. If you find this tutorial helpful or you like it, please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna fit my bottle in